Buying a car is one of the biggest investments you will ever make. But what if you end up with a money pit instead of a reliable ride? Some cars look great on the surface, but once you drive them for a few months, constant breakdowns, costly repairs, and frustrating problems start piling up. Today, we are exposing 7 of the worst cars of 2025 to 26 that you must avoid at all costs. Some of these are unreliable SUVs, while others are sedans with serious flaws, and if you are not careful, they could drain your wallet faster than you expect. Let's get into it. Chevrolet Traverse. At first glance, the Chevrolet Traverse might seem like a solid family SUV with spacious seating, modern technology, and a V6 engine. However, once you look deeper, the problems start piling up. The Traverse has been plagued with poor long-term reliability and expensive maintenance costs, making it a risky investment. Under the hood, the 3.6-liter V6 engine delivers 310 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission. However, while those numbers sound decent, the reality is that the transmission is slow to respond, making acceleration feel sluggish. Even worse, the engine has been known to develop timing chain issues, oil leaks, and overheating problems as it ages. While the Traverse tries to keep up with modern styling trends, it still looks bland compared to competitors like the Kia Telluride and Hyundai Palisade. The headlights feel uninspired, and the front grille is oversized without adding any real character. Inside, you do get 3-row seating with plenty of cargo space, but build quality is a major issue. Hard plastics dominate the dashboard, the infotainment system is known for glitches, and seat durability is questionable. While families may appreciate the space, the outdated cabin and reliability concerns ruin the experience. The Traverse is plagued with transmission failures, poor resale value, and high repair costs, making it one of the worst SUVs you can buy. If you think this SUV is bad, wait until you see the next one, which has even more costly issues. Jeep Grand Cherokee. The 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee continues its reputation for looking rugged and adventurous, but failing miserably in reliability. This SUV has always had a loyal fan base, but owners are starting to realize it costs a fortune to maintain and breaks down more often than its competitors. Jeep offers multiple engine options, but the base 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 making 293 horsepower remains a letdown. The 8-speed automatic transmission suffers from erratic shifts, and fuel economy is poor for its size. The optional 5.7-liter Hemi V8 adds more power, but does little to help Jeep's terrible reliability track record. Jeep's styling remains aggressive, with squared-off wheel arches and a bold front grille. But while it looks premium, what lies underneath is a fragile vehicle prone to major issues. While the cabin feels luxurious, it is not enough to make up for the vehicle's flaws. The infotainment system is notoriously glitchy, and Jeep's electronics frequently malfunction. Drivers have reported issues with touchscreen failures, air suspension breakdowns, and faulty climate controls. Jeep charges luxury SUV prices, but delivers an unreliable and expensive-to-maintain vehicle. It is simply not worth the headache. If you think SUVs are the only terrible choices out there, wait until you see some of the worst sedans you can buy. Nissan Altima. The Nissan Altima was once a fan-favorite midsize sedan, but the 2025 model does little to fix its growing list of problems. The biggest issue? A transmission that fails far too soon. The 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine produces 188 horsepower and comes with a continuously variable transmission, CVT, which is the main source of frustration. CVTs are designed for fuel efficiency, but in the Altima, it is prone to premature failure, jerky shifting, and expensive repair bills. On the outside, the Altima tries to look sporty with its sharp headlights and sleek grille. However, it is all just a facade, because what really matters is how poorly it drives. The cabin lacks premium materials, with an overuse of cheap plastics and uncomfortable seats. The infotainment system is outdated, and road noise is excessive, making long drives unpleasant. The CVT transmission is its biggest downfall, leading to a costly ownership experience. It is better to look at alternatives like the Honda Accord or Toyota Camry. But if you think the Altima is bad, the next sedan is even worse when it comes to outdated technology and terrible fuel economy. Chrysler 300. The Chrysler 300 refuses to evolve, and buyers are paying the price for it. This sedan was once an iconic choice, but in 2025, it is completely outdated and not worth your money. The base 3.6-liter V6 engine makes 292 horsepower, while an optional 5.7-liter Hemi V8 is available. But despite the power, the heavy weight and sluggish transmission make driving it feel uninspired. Worse, fuel efficiency is abysmal, making it a poor choice in today's market. While some people love the bold, boxy look of the Chrysler 300, it is starting to feel outdated compared to modern sedans that have evolved with the times. The cabin is stuck in the past, with an outdated infotainment system and an unrefined design. The materials feel cheap, and ride quality is stiff, making it an uncomfortable option for long drives. The Chrysler 300 is too outdated, inefficient, and expensive to justify buying in 2025. It is long overdue for retirement. If you think this bad, wait until you see the next one, which has even more costly issues. Mercedes-Benz CLA. The Mercedes-Benz CLA promises luxury, but in reality, it feels more like an overpriced economy car with a fancy badge. It tries to compete with premium sedans, but lackluster reliability, cramped interior space, and a harsh ride make it one of the worst luxury purchases. The base model comes with a 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine producing 221 horsepower. While it sounds sporty on paper, the dual-clutch automatic transmission is slow to shift, and throttle response is laggy. Even worse, reliability issues with the engine and transmission are common, leading to expensive repair bills. The CL's coupe-like design looks stylish, but it comes at a cost: reduced visibility and a cramped rear seat. While the front end maintains the signature Mercedes-Benz elegance, the overall proportions feel awkward. Step inside, and you are met with a beautiful-looking cabin that is ruined by cheap materials. The infotainment system lags, seat comfort is below average, and road noise is surprisingly loud for a luxury vehicle. It is overpriced, underwhelming to drive, and unreliable. If you are spending this much, you are better off with a BMW 3 Series or Audi A4. If you think a bad luxury sedan is frustrating, this next SUV has engine problems that can cost you thousands in repairs. Ford Explorer. The Ford Explorer remains one of the most well-known three-row SUVs, but its constant reliability problems make it one of the worst choices for families in 2025. From transmission failures to electrical malfunctions, owners have had nothing but frustration with this vehicle. The base model comes with a 2.3-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine making 300 horsepower, while a 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6 option exists for higher trims. But no matter which engine you choose, reliability remains a serious concern. The 10-speed automatic transmission has been known to slip gears, hesitate, and cause sudden power loss. At first glance, the Explorer looks modern and rugged, but it does not change the fact that build quality is subpar. The panel gaps are inconsistent, and exterior trim pieces have been reported to loosen over time. Inside, the Explorer offers a spacious three-row setup, but cheap plastics and a confusing infotainment system bring down the experience. Even worse, the air conditioning system has been a consistent source of complaints, with owners reporting frequent breakdowns and poor cooling performance. The Explorer's transmission issues, electrical malfunctions, and long-term reliability concerns make it a risky choice. There are better alternatives, such as the Toyota Highlander or Kia Telluride. If you are looking for the absolute worst car you can buy in 2025, this next sedan takes the crown for being outdated, inefficient, and overpriced. Dodge Charger. The Dodge Charger is an iconic American muscle sedan, but in 2025, it is completely outdated and falls behind modern standards. With poor fuel economy, aging technology, and high maintenance costs, the Charger is one of the worst choices in the sedan market today. While the base model comes with a 3.6-liter V6 producing 292 horsepower, Most buyers opt for the bigger 5.7-liter Hemi V8, which delivers 370 horsepower. But despite the power, the Charger's weight and outdated platform make it feel sluggish around corners. Worse, fuel economy is atrocious, and the V8 models struggle to get even 16 miles per gallon in the city. The Charger's aggressive styling is starting to feel old, as Dodge has barely updated it over the years. While it still looks mean and muscular, it is a reminder of a past era when fuel efficiency and modern technology were not priorities. Inside, the Charger's dated dashboard, outdated infotainment system, and lack of modern safety features make it feel years behind competitors. The cabin materials feel low rent for a car that costs this much, and ride comfort is poor on long trips. The Dodge Charger is an old-school muscle sedan that struggles to keep up with modern efficiency, reliability, and technology standards. It is simply not a smart buy in 2025. Consumer Reports highlights these 7 vehicles as some of the least reliable choices for 2025. The Chevrolet Traverse struggles with transmission failures and poor fuel economy, while the Jeep Grand Cherokee faces costly suspension issues and unreliable electronics. The Nissan Altima continues to disappoint with CVT transmission failures, and the Chrysler 300 suffers from outdated tech and high running costs. The Mercedes-Benz CLA has a cramped interior and frequent mechanical problems, while the Ford Explorer is plagued by transmission and infotainment failures. Finally, the Dodge Charger is inefficient, outdated, and costly to maintain. Avoid these models if you want a hassle-free driving experience. So there you have it, the 7 worst cars you should never buy in 2025. These vehicles might look appealing at first glance, but their reliability issues, outdated features, and high maintenance costs make them some of the worst choices for car buyers. But now, we want to hear from you. Do you agree with this list? Have you owned any of these cars? And if so, what was your experience? Let us know in the comments. And if you are wondering which cars are actually worth buying in 2025, stay tuned, because our next video will break down the 7 best cars that you can buy with confidence. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it.